James, Troubadour.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Cool, eh?
What goes through your head?
Well, I mean, as I was saying to you earlier,
Yeah.
I was watching Rocket Man on the way here. Obviously, Elton John's began his career in the Troubadour. And it's kind of amazing to be in this venue and to be performing here. It's unbelievable. You see all the icons on the wall.
I think they've all been here.
Yeah, they've all been here, and it's taken me a while to get here, but I'm finally here, man.
And it's a little. People will be. I've been here a few times, seen a few bands here, but it's smaller.
It's small. Yeah,
that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what we wanted to do on this American run that we're doing. We wanted to sort of create that special thing, like you can't get a ticket and it's rammed, and sort of all the celebrities are here and stuff, and just kind of make it a special, kind of sweaty, intimate vibe.
Go with the sweat. I like it.
Yeah, man. It's like when John Mayer racks up at like Hotel Cafe or the Troubadour. Like, yeah, we sort of wanted that vibe, man.
Yeah, it's funny that we were just chatting before we came on camera that the last time I saw you was X Factor. You were about to do the Halloween special. I remember you with the whole makeup.
Mascara.
But that seems forever ago now.
It does, yeah, it does.
Does it seem that for you?
I think it's 7 years ago now.
Does that seem like that for you?
It does. It feels like a long old time ago. People, every interview I do, people say, "What's life like since the X Factor?" And it feels like I've been through a lot since then. Like the first couple of years was very much about adapting to the new life and stuff. And yeah, man, I've forgotten what it felt like, to be honest. All I know, it was traumatic. It's left me with a few scars. And, I remember that interview very well.
Yeah. God, those were the days. I mean, you seem in great health. Let's talk about the health side of things, which I think is still so brilliant that you talk about mental health and you're a champion for all. And people still don't really understand things.
Yeah, well, it's well documented. I went through a lot of struggles when I first found fame. I was famous overnight. Came from nothing and number one in the UK. I was all over the papers, and I made some royal mistakes and royal errors due to the fact that I was struggling with mental health issues, and until I started talking about what was going on with me and the issues I was having, I didn't realize how profound it was to step up and say I'm not okay, and ever since I started doing that, I just felt a responsibility as someone in the public eye, to speak up and do my bit to help other people that are struggling, and just to remind people how profound it is, how powerful it is to say I'm not doing too well.
Yeah, and also it's that ongoing thing as well, because I think, and I've learned a lot of things from just watching you in interviews and reading, is that whole thing of people sometimes think, and then he's better now, but it's an ongoing thing.
No, it's a management thing. You have to I have to manage my anxiety and my stuff every day. Every day is a battle, but every day it gets easier. You chip away at it, and it's just. It's something that it's becoming less of a taboo subject, and more people are talking about it. And I think that's wicked. I definitely feel, a lot better in today's world to talk about it. I feel okay to do that.
You're an inspiration.
Bless
you really are.
That's very kind.
You genuinely are. Let's talk about the music side of things. New single, new album coming up.
You.
So this is the whole it's all back to you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I listen to my after my last album, sort of all the sort of dust settled from that.
Yeah.
And it was a #1 album. It did really well, and I went out on tour and everything. I sort of listened back to it, and I cringed a little bit at how self-indulgent it was. I was like, oh man, because it's just a bunch of songs where I was trying to write a comeback single, and I can feel, maybe no one else will notice it listening to it, but I can feel the sort of me writing about the pain I'm going through and how I want to have redemption and all that stuff. And I wanted to make an album. Funnily enough, the one song on that album that brought me back into the favour of everybody was a simple love song, "Say You Won't Let Go," which is just being an anomaly. So I kind of approached this album the same way I did with that one song, and it's just about other people, and it's inspired by other people, and it's for you and not so much for me. So I have to talk about me all the time.
The single as well, again, not different from what has gone before, because again, getting away from the ballads, how hard is it? Because people go, "That's work, James."
Yeah. Well, that's a battle I have to have all the time, because when you have a song like "Say You Won't Let Go," a big love ballad that people are listening to at their weddings and stuff, it's hard to get out of the shadow of it a little bit, and that's a proven formula. And the labels and the management, they'll all say, let's get another one of them. And I want to be. I would love to have a hit with something that's a bit different. But that's a long process. I've got to just keep putting out, different things and hoping that one of them sort of, somebody likes it.
Well, I love this one. But is it, as you're saying, it's a bit of a battle. Does it become a real battle? And at which stage in your career can you actually go, you know what? No, this is what I'm doing.
It can do, because, even though I feel like I've proved myself in terms of, like, I've written the love song, like, I guess I'm seen as a business as well. And I have to see myself that way. I got to, keep my career going, keep it flowing. And, there's a temptation, for everyone to go for the safe stuff. But I'm not that guy. I like to take risks. I want to, put stuff out that maybe won't do well. But I think, the more you do that, the more, people will take notice.
Yeah. I mean, talking about keeping a career going, you've done it remarkably well. You came through, everywhere, then the dip, then back again. Yeah. It's interesting because when you come to America, I think loves a comeback story better than the Brits do, don't they?
They love an underdog, yeah.
Because in Britain we love to kick people.
We do, yeah. We like to kick people when they're down.
Yeah. But here...
they love it. I mean, I love it here. The shows we do here, like, they're very musical. Not to say that people in England don't, but there's that sort of culture of like, he's showing off or whatever. But here you can do a couple of runs and a couple of riffs, and you can show off musically, and they whoop and holler, and they're like, amazing. And they love that kind of showboating kind of stuff, which I like to do when I'm performing. In England, they might be like, they don't get it so much, They want to hear the songs and they want to hear the melodies.
Yeah. Sing the hits.
Yeah, sing the hits. Sing the hits, and, which is fantastic. It's just different strokes for different folks, and I love America for that reason, though, because it's ingrained in the culture, soul and rock and roll and that kind of stuff.
I mean, it's interesting. We're talking here in the Troubadour, Elton John. This is where really it kicked off for him. It's hard, in Elton's day. I mean, much of that was incredible, and that was what kicked it off. So much harder for British acts to crack America now.
Yeah, it is. It's very hard. I think there's just an illustrious line of one-hit wonders from the UK. Yeah. And I've had one. I'm hoping that
one of many to come.
I'm here. I'm gonna work my ass off to try and get another one. We'll see if I can manage it.
It's really hard to crack America now. In the old days, you had a number one in Britain, so they loved it here. Yeah. Whereas now you really got to work this massive place.
You've got to be here, and you've got to go to all the radio stations. Not only am I doing a headline tour here, but we're doing 2 or 3 radio stations a day as well. Going there and showing that that we're here and we're present. And it's not just about having a hit song these days or a song that people are liking on Spotify. Or you've got to be here, and you've got to show that you're willing to sort of meet the people, meet the fans, and meet the radio executives, and meet
and you got to go and play for them.
You got to go play a song.
People don't understand it.
You got to go in boardrooms and cafes, and you've got to do it all, man.
Which I suppose in some ways is quite nice, because it's almost like going back, back to the beginning again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is, and that's the excitement here, because I'm now at a point in the UK and Europe. I'm playing arenas, and it's absolutely amazing. I feel like I don't have much more to prove there. Whereas here, it's back to the beginning. I was playing these kind of venues when I was in bands as a teenager, trying to make it, trying to get through, and it's cool. It's like sort of being at the beginning of your career again. Yeah. Which I enjoy that challenge.
As I was going to say, because that's a challenge again, because after the incredible success you've had, a lot of people wouldn't do it. I mean, I know a lot of, and I'm not mentioning names, but I know a couple of really big bands who say they'd love to do America, but they just would not put in that work.
No, that's true. Yeah, I think it's harder as a band as well. I'm lucky that I'm a solo artist, and I've got an amazing team around me. But I think if there was maybe 3 or 4 other people to please on the road, man, it would be tough. It'd be tough. But
are you quite selfish?
I'm not. I'm super shit. I sometimes I have my own dressing room, and my band have a different one. I'm like, it's like a little cupboard, and I'm like, get in my room. Like, I'm not having you in there.
What do you love most about America? What's the kind of turn off for you here, or is there anything?
No, I like the food here. I feel like the food is even like the little dive bars and stuff. They have quality food. That's probably not the most interesting thing for people to know about.
Hey, it's always good to know.
What else? Is there anything I don't like about America? I mean, some of the places are too hot. Yeah. People shouldn't live there. Only reptiles should live in some of the places in America. We went to Phoenix the other day. and I sang outside. It's just the desert, man.
Yeah, and the throat, people don't realise.
Yeah, so yeah, in Vegas as well. I sang outside in Vegas the other night. I was dying on stage, man. So that's tough. I need to get my conditioning a bit better for America.
Because the weather's a little bit different from Middlesbrough. People just don't understand this.
No, they don't. It's just like Borough. Yeah.
But when you're here, and especially like a venue like the Troubadour,
yeah.
does the boy from Borough, if we can put it that way,
yeah.
does it? How does that work for you?
I mean, I've been here a short amount of time. I'm standing here now, and in the back of my head, it's sort of, subconsciously I'm thinking, God, I'm in a Troubadour, and the people that have stood on that stage, and now it's me. I grew up in a little town called Redcar. I used to sign on the door. I was a waste man, and and I'm here in a Troubadour. It's a sign of where I'm at and in my career. It's it's a beautiful thing, and it's not only is it the Troubadour, but it's a headline tour in America. And the minute that I put the tickets on sale, they went
incredible.
They sold out within minutes. So we could have done bigger venues, but I like the fact we're starting here. We're starting in these places, and the same way that Freddie Mercury, and Elton John, and the other great British artists, George Michael, and the legends did.
How do you find the Americans accepting you? What's the feeling?
I've just felt nothing but love.
Yeah.
Felt nothing but love. I think they can tell that I'm inspired by American music and the gospel and the soul and the rock and roll. These are things that I grew up listening to. My mum, brought me up on Elvis and Prince and soul music, the Temptations and the Motown, all this great music that came from America. And I think they can hear it in my music. I think they can hear the influences, and they show me nothing but love. So it's beautiful.
When you were a kid, did your mum get you to sing like Elvis? Was there?
Did
you have a little?
She did. Yeah. We always had the movies on and the music on, and I was always singing along and miming to Elvis and stuff.
Can you do the full? Did you get the?
I wouldn't even want to try.
Didn't you get the whole lip curl?
There, he's got it. He's smashed it.
And so let's talk about the album as well. Quite a few collaborations on there as well.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And that's like the big thing now, isn't it? Just pull in different people.
Yeah, it all came together very last minute, to be honest. Like Travis Barker, probably the most famous drummer on the planet today. Yeah. Blink-182's drummer. And, luckily he's part of our American management. And I've since I found that information out, I've been on the phone. Can we get him on something? Can we get him on one of our tracks? Please get Travis Barker on my songs. And we sent him the song "You," which is the title track of the album. And it's perfect for him, great percussion parts in the song. And, it was I'm so honoured that he was like, of course, I love James Arthur. I'd love to play on his record. He's amazing singer and stuff. And he literally within a few hours he played the parts and sent them back to us. And he's on there. I'm a big fan of a US band called Taking Back Sunday, a legend in the sort of pop punk world. Yeah. Adam Lazzara. I wrote a song and it had some lyrics that he'd written in one of his songs, and we called their management, said can we get clearance on these lyrics? And they said, well, why don't we have Adam sing the lyrics? So that was another beautiful. That happened last minute. Ty Dolla $ign, who's one of the biggest hip hop artists in America right now, reached out to him. He again was very happy. So yeah, I've got a lot of legends on this album, and I didn't think I was going to have any collaborations, and they all kind of happened last minute. So. Yeah. This album, I'm very proud of it, and I'm proud to be playing the song. Like these shows, like these fans that are seeing these shows are like my little guinea pigs, and I'm trying these new songs out for them, and it's brilliant, man.
It's lovely when you talk about people, when you're talking about legends like that, saying James Arthur, brilliant singer. Well, how does that make you feel?
It's great, because I'm my own worst critic, and I can be very down on myself, and I can be, I've got a. I work hard to try and be up there with the others, and I've probably got to work a bit harder than some of the other guys in my lane because of where I came from, and there's a bit of snobbery attached to that. So when people want to work with me, want to collaborate with me, and just see me for the fact that I'm clearly a musical guy and I'm good at what I do, it's sort of. It reassures me that I'm in the right place.
As you're saying, you normally work on your own, but obviously collaborations this time. So who's on the list? If I go, here's the big five. You think of?
I've always dreamt of doing like a song with Eminem or Jay-Z or one of the big hip hop moguls, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would love to do something like that. That's the dream. Other than that, I don't really have a list. Like, I sort of just, you know, I'm gonna see what happens. See who reaches out, and when I write songs, I'll you know, sometimes I write songs and I think, oh, this person would be perfect for it. And yeah, I think there's going to be more of that sort of stuff to come in my career.
I often ask people this, and it's surprising the different answers you get. When you're on stage, are you at your happiest? Is that
100%? Yeah. Because, you know, there's some uncomfortable moments on stage, and you grapple with yourself. Like, you think, is this going well? And there's a lot of internalizing and stuff that happens when you're on stage. And obviously the ultimate goal is, let's entertain these people in this room. And when you know you've got them and they're singing along to your songs, like, there's nothing like it. Absolutely nothing like it.
I always remember watching Tom Jones on stage one time and doing a kind of British gag, and he said this great line, which I use a lot. Yeah. British humour, American silence.
Yeah.
Have you had any of those moments yet?
I've had one or two, but I'm really funny here on stage. Like, my crack on stage is really, like, in England, a lot of it, I die on stage sometimes in England when I try and do my sort of humour, but I think maybe my humour is more suited to the Americans or something, because I've got them howling some nights just with sort of, I think just probably my accent. I don't know, they're just, they're an easy crowd in America.
Is that something that you, well, obviously developed over the years now, that you've just got more comfortable?
There's a bit of sort of crack, and there's a bit, you know, you pick up the things at work, and, you know, when people shout things out, you know what to say, and yeah, definitely.
That's a middle grade, dealing with the hecklers.
I grew up with that. I was always looking over my shoulder, and I had to have a rebuttal when I growing up in Redcar. Yeah,
you got to do that. In terms of the future, I mean, it's flying at the moment, and also, I mean, a couple of years since the last album.
Yeah.
It's quite a big gap nowadays, isn't it? Because people just don't realise how quickly things change and turn and all the rest of it. I mean, obviously, come back with a big one. Yeah. Is that always like a little bit of a concern?
It is, and it can be a stressful thing. It wasn't meant to be for me. I was meant to turn it around pretty quickly, because I write a lot of music. You know, I make a lot of music, but the thing that sort of drags that process out is sort of the marketing these days. You know, like that's almost more important than the music now. It's the social media. A lot of guys are doing better than I am just because they're better on social media, or maybe they've got a gimmick or a marketing plan, and all that stuff has to be in place 6 months ahead of when you're releasing a record. And you know, someone like me who just wants to be known for making great records, I've got to make sure that's perfect, you know, before I put things out. So yeah, but I think I'll turn around my albums a bit quicker in future, just because people are consuming music at an alarming rate now. It's disposable. People are just putting music out. I think that's the future. So expect a lot more from me in the near future.
We reflect, and you look back to those early the TV days and X Factor. What I like as well is that, you know, you've moved on completely from them, but you still look back. I mean, I've seen quotes and things where you go, it was like a part of your life, a part that changed your life in many different ways. So it's not. I like the fact that it's like you've moved on. You go, I'm not going to go back and do champion shows or whatever. I'm just.
Oh no, I'm super proud to come from it. I mean, I wouldn't be here if, you know, the people that picked up their phone, and you know, it was a platform that it put me here, basically. Yeah. You know, even though I did the work and I tried to do it the right way or whatever.
But you're the perfect combination. You did it the right way, and then you did the TV show, and it was like. It was really like a last resort for me. I had no dollar. My lights had gone out in my little bedsit, and I was like, what am I going to do here? And my mum was like, I'll give you a tenner if you go and audition for the X Factor, and we can get your lights back on. And I was like, well, that's where I'm at in life. That's what I'm going to do. 6 months later, I'm the X Factor winner, and one of the most famous men in Britain overnight. And it's like, right, well, let's make the best of this. Yeah. And I've been forever trying to strike the balance between being the guy who Janice from Grimsby voted for, and you know, the guy I wanted to be before all that, in terms of music and stuff. So no, I'm very proud to come from the X Factor, but I can't go back and do the X Factor champions and all that kind of stuff, just because it, you know. Well, and also I don't think you should, to be honest. To be brutally honest, nor should you. No, that's it. It's funny. I got little goosebumps there just when you talked about it there, because I could see that light in your eyes when you talked about it, and you almost tend to forget how many years ago it was, and the fact that within 6 months you've got a #1 single, and you're, you know, the most famous bloke in Britain. And as you're saying, you know, 6 months before you're having to pay the money to get electricity. I mean, that would blow anybody's mind.
Yeah, it's the moment that I can always go back to and think about when I want to sort of recalibrate and ground myself again and sort of get myself in check. It's a sobering thought, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could have been very different, and I'm very grateful to the people, you know, to X Factor and those people who put me here. And what's great though is that people don't associate me with it that much either. I've managed to sort of separate myself from being a reality TV show. The only time it's ever a problem is, you know, it's been well documented recently. I've been sort of like complaining about not being able to do Glastonbury and things like that. It's like, you know, you come up against that kind of thing because they don't want, the industry doesn't really want, not the industry, that's a blanket statement, but there's certain sections of the
still snobbery.
They don't really want, even though even if I'm the best, you know, they don't want me to win. They don't want me to succeed. You know, they'd rather push the guy who is, you know, maybe they discovered them, or maybe they have a horse in the race. You know what I mean?
It's interesting, that, isn't it? Because it's very much a British thing that it's the tall poppy syndrome, and I think there's only Australia and Britain have the tall poppy syndrome when they just take the legs away from people. And it's interesting, and they want that underdog, whereas America loves the underdog, loves the star, loves the comeback story.
Yes,
so I can completely understand here why there's a little bit of a comfort zone.
Yeah, I know, you're absolutely right, and I do really feel it. As I said, I feel that that will. They want me to do well here. I think they're backing me. So I love nothing more than to be here and playing to these people.
Yeah. And what about Simon? Is he still?
He's still, I mean, I'm still signed to. You know, the amazing thing is I did a full 360. I went the full circle. I got dropped by them, and then I went back to them. I was, you know, and they were like, "Oh, would you consider us signing you again?" I said, "I don't know, actually." I don't know.
Was there a little bit of a yes?
There was a bit of that because they actually said no to say you won't let go. They said
no.
They said that's not a hit song, and then it went straight to #1, and then they were on the phone. But Simon was very humble and very, you know, like, we made a mistake, we messed up.
So this isn't Simon Cowell you're talking about. Humble and we made a mistake. Are you sure?
Very humble.
I know that I've known this man since I was 16. Are you sure?
He was very humble, and he's I've never experienced the side of Simon that's not that way, to be honest.
How brilliant.
Yeah, he's a nice dude.